Hello everyone, this is your chess coach from Chess Academy. Today we are going to discuss about Giuoco Piano, one of the oldest openings in chess. E4. So here white plays E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, D4. This is called Scotch game or Scotch opening. And if E takes D4, Bishop to C4. So in this position, black can play Bishop to C5, and this is called max range attack. So if white castles Knight F6, E5, D5, E takes F6, D takes C4, Rook E1 check, Bishop E6, Knight G5. So in this position, black can take the pawn on F6 with the queen, but this is a bad idea because knight takes the bishop, and if pawn takes, we can give a check and can take the bishop back. So here white is simply a piece up. So taking the pawn on F6 with the queen is a bad idea. Black can simply move the queen to D5, and on knight C3 he can move the queen to F5, and this is a roughly equal position for both. So instead of playing bishop C5, black can even choose to play knight F6. This is called two knights defense, and in this position white can play E5, D5, bishop B5, knight E4, knight takes D4, bishop C5, bishop E3, bishop takes D4, queen takes D4, and black castles. So white must take the knight here. Bishop takes knight, b takes C6, knight C3, bishop F5. So in this position, if white castles, then it's a wrong move for white, because black can push the pawn C5, queen takes D5, and black can remove the defender by playing knight takes C3, and if queen takes on D8, black can play an intermediate move before taking the queen. So that is playing the knight to E2 and giving a check. So white king moves to H1, and black can take the queen. So if white arrests the knight, we can move the knight back. So here black is clearly a piece up. So the E5, playing E5 line is not so good for white. So instead of playing E5 in this move, black can simply choose to castle. On castling, if knight takes E4, black can play rook to E1, and to support the knight, black can play simply D5. So we can take the pawn with the bishop, and if queen takes, white should play knight C3, attacking both the queen and the knight. So if the queen moves, we can take the knight back. So what's the best move for queen in this position? So queen can be moved to A5, D5, or simply back to D7. So let's see each of the moves first. So let's see queen A5. If black moves to queen A5, we can take the knight, bishop E6, knight due to G5, pawn castling, knight takes E6, f takes E6, rook takes E6, bishop D6, bishop G5, rook D to E8, and we can support the rook with the queen, and king supports the rook, rook takes E8, rook takes E8, and we can escape the queen to D3, and knight E5 to attack both the queen and the knight. We can simply check, and rook E6. Black is just itself pinned its rook against the king. How can we increase the pressure on the pin? We can simply take pawn on D4. So here there's only one move that is saving black's position, which is knight to F3 check. So if knight plays to F3 check, if white takes the knight with knight, we can simply take the queen, and black is simply a queen up. If white takes with queen, there's no pin against the rook, so rook is free to move. we can move the rook to e1. So and rook a takes and queen takes. So it's a mate on back rank. So in this position, taking with knight or a queen, both are bad idea. So we can take the pawn. So here black can equalize the position. So taking with knight, and we can move the black to here, and whichever piece moves, we can take another piece. So this position is roughly equal for both, with white having a slight advantage with an extra pawn, but the pawn structure is damaged. So in this, so queen to a5 is a slightly bad continuation. So we can play queen to h5 instead. Queen to h5. If white plays queen to h5, knight takes e4, bishop e6, bishop g5, bishop. So black can move the bishop. So if black moves the bishop to e7 to equalize the position instead of bishop d6. So let's see if bishop d7. So then this will be bad for black. So white can take the bishop, and if king takes, rook to g5, and if rook moves, we can take the bishop, and if there's no, we can take with the king. So if pawn takes, using this diagonal, there's a tactic in this position. We can take the pawn here, so and lose the king to this square, and we can give a check by discovering the knight to this square. And if black takes the knight, we can simply take the queen, and this is very advantageous for white. So black should be careful when it plays queen to h5. So playing the bishop to e7 to trying to equalize the material is a bad move, as we have already seen. So what should black do? Black should play instead bishop to d6. So white takes anyway, and black takes, and moving the bishop back to f4. Here queen d5, white can play simply c3, and black can take this pawn, because if black takes with the pawn, we can take the queen. Bishop, queen to f5. So attacking the bishop, white can simply take the pawn instead of moving the bishop back. So if queen takes, we can play the fork, gaining one of the pieces. So black simply castles, and we can take the bishop, and if white takes, we can take the pawn. So, and now black can play knight to e5, and this is roughly equal position for both, with black having a slight advantage. This is Giuoco Piano. Thank you.